Hafiday, my name is Sixtu Quintanilla, and I'm with Lumber 6. So early on when I was a kid, I've been exposed to it since then. I used to work on projects with my dad and my mom. And my dad basically laid the foundation of how to build things. And then after that, the way I got my experience, I would be like, hey dad, I don't like how this looks. Like, how come you didn't do it like this? And then kind of get frustrated with me. Then he'd be like, you know what, son? If you don't like the way it looks, do it yourself. And I was like, oh, I should do it myself. And it kind of started out with that. And so after he laid that foundation, and then I started learning things on my own and experimenting with things, friends started asking me, I got this wedding show coming up, I need some podiums built, or I need this thing built. So I was like, you know what, I'm handy enough, I think I could do that. I could build that. And so it started out from there, and then early on I would just get a lot of constructive criticism, and then I would have to grow from there, and I just had to make better pieces, and people were going to be seeing it, it was going to be exposed, so I had to learn from that. And then after that, it kind of started building from there, and then it came to a point where it's like, do I want to just build things for people, or do I want to take another path? And Kimmy, when I met her, she was like, hey man, you're doing this thing all the time, like you're really handy, I really like your pieces, like you're doing great, like let's start this business. And at the time I was like, man, I don't know, like do I really have enough to start this business, and do I really have the experience, like should I go with it? And she really encouraged me, and she really pushed me to start the business, and we did. Yeah. So early on, when I was a kid, I just remember my father, he had his own construction company, Q&A Builders. So I remember just being at a job site, seeing my dad do his thing, and then after that, both my parents worked in a cabinet shop here in Guam, and then I was just exposed to seeing how things were, and exposed to woodworking at an early age. I was like, wow, it's nice, you know? And then after that, when I started doing things on my own, I would always call my dad. I was like, hey dad, man, I need to profile this edge. How do I do something like that? Then he would give me all the tools. He would kind of explain to me what it was. And I guess him being the carpentry instructor at Trades Academy, he kind of has the insight of what's new, what's up to date, what are some techniques that we can use, and then how do I incorporate that into the builds that I produce and builds that I make. I lean on him for guidance. So my dad focuses more on rough carpentry, which is framework and framing, like building houses and structures like that. And but I didn't want to take that route. I wanted to do something more that people would touch and feel and see every day, which is finished carpentry. I wanted to go into that aspect, and I just still lean on my dad for guidance. Rough carpentry is basically the framework of, like, if you build something, the frame's going to go up, then it's going to be paneled, and it's going to be covered, and it's part of the structure. With finished carpentry, in my opinion, it's more of the things that you touch every day. It would be like a dresser, it would be a chair, it would be a table, so a door frame, a door itself. So that's finished carpentry. My mom's experience in the cabinet shop doing finished carpentry, she has passed that on to myself. And then that helps me create these pieces that come out of Lumber 6. And I feel like every piece that I make, I have to make sure it's straight. I have to make sure each cut is as close as I can get it. And I have to make sure all my joints are tight. And I just feel like if something's wrong, because it's wood, when you touch it, you know it's wood. And then when you feel it, you know it's wood. But then when you see it and it doesn't look like wood, then to myself, I feel like that's a bad product. The more rewarding things about creating these pieces is knowing that it's going to be in someone's home, or knowing that it's going to be in someone's business, and then seeing the satisfaction that they get out of the pieces that we give to them, that we make for them. I think that's very rewarding.